Hi, I'm Nicole Roberts-Jones, and welcome to The Fierce Files. Now, what I know for sure is that one of life's greatest gifts will meet you when you go after your more. And so here is why I share with you thought-provoking insight and behind-the-curtain conversations with women who have reached the pinnacle of success because they went after their more. Now, I really want you to get this. One idea from these episodes can make a remarkable difference, not just in your career, but in your life. And I want to make sure you join the conversation in our Facebook group. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com. Now grab your pen and get ready for today's session of The Fierce Files. Hi, this is Nicole Roberts-Jones, and welcome to this episode of The Fierce Files. Now, as this episode originally airs the day before Thanksgiving, I started thinking to myself, what does being thankful and sitting in gratitude really mean? And as I pondered this, it dawned on me that I, probably like you, spend so much time thinking about what I have not done yet. I spend so much time in my to-do list and setting goals and writing out the action steps I need to take to get to those goals that I don't often even celebrate what I have accomplished, let alone sit in gratitude about it, right? I don't sit in gratitude about what all I have been able to do. It's like I get to a goal and I move on to the next one and the next and the next. And because you are here with me in the Fierce Files, I bet you are just like that too. So I thought the day before Thanksgiving is a perfect time to get you in the position to up-level your gratitude. How? By taking the time to stop and applaud yourself and remind you of what you've already been able to do. To stop waiting for others to acknowledge you and to pat your own self on the back. And that's what this episode is all about. It's about letting all of us bask in the glory of what we have already done on the way to where we each are going. So yes, today I want you to take some time to celebrate. Now, I bet you the person that first said, take time to smell the roses. I bet this moment of pause and celebration that I'm inviting you into, I bet the person that first said that, this is what they meant. They meant that we have to enjoy the little things in life. We've got to enjoy family, your significant other, your friends that you appreciate and admire. You have to take the time to take it all in and appreciate what you've even done in your professional life, what accomplishments you have already made. See, thinking of this, I realize that I don't take the time to take it all in. Do you? Do you stop and really smell the roses or smell the flowers along the way? Do you take the time to really enjoy what is going really, really well in your life or what you've been able to do? Or are you constantly focused on what you don't have yet? So today, let's take a moment to smell the flowers and take it all in. Take in the beauty, the happiness, the joy of the journey we have each had so far. No matter where you are in your own personal journey, no matter if you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and so on and so forth, I want you today to celebrate you. See, I believe that we have far too few parties. We have too few parties in life. I mean, come on, think about it. When we were little, we had parties all the time. We had sleepovers and get-togethers for our birthdays, right? And we did it every single year. And then we had graduation parties. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And as you got older, it went from once a year to every 5 years. And now, to be honest with you, I only celebrate my big milestone birthdays, 40, 50, Well, a celebration is not just for a birthday or a graduation. Even in the dictionary, because if you know me like I think you know me, I looked up the word celebrate in the dictionary, right? And what it means is to acknowledge a significant or happy day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity. So I want you to think of all the significant things, people, accomplishments that you can celebrate. And for me, it makes me think of writing my first book. It makes me think of starting my first company at age 23. It makes me think of getting my first business license, or when I got my first TV interview, or it makes me think of when my first article was posted on Forbes or Essence.com. And I can celebrate becoming a best-selling author, or the first time someone hired me to speak. I can celebrate landing my first dream job right out of college, or even graduating from college for that matter, right? I can even think about leaving my whole career behind to start a new one and going back to school to get my master's degree. I could go on, but my question is, What can you celebrate and acknowledge yourself for doing? See, we've got to be willing to celebrate ourselves even when nobody else does. See, I think we need to celebrate more often. I think we need to throw our own self a party or give ourselves some kind of acknowledgement, whether it's getting a massage or buying yourself flowers or whatever that is. Why? Because when you celebrate, you're standing in the energy of joy and gratitude. And when you put out that energy, it comes back to you. And guess what? It helps you accelerate that next best bold move that you are looking to achieve, right? So as we celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow, knowing that the energy that you send out comes back to you. Yes, energy grows where energy flows. Let's push up your gratitude meter by first starting to celebrate you. And I know you're saying, Nicole, how am I going to do that, right? So to do that, I'm giving you what I'm calling a celebration assignment, and it's in 3 parts. Now, of course, I'm going to give you work to do. So you ready? By the way, I will post the worksheet of what I'm walking you through in our Find Your Fierce Movement Facebook group. So if you haven't joined us yet, go to findyourfiercemovement.com and join us. Now, when you join, just know we do ask you 3 questions because I want to make sure you're in the right place. Number 1. Number 2, when you join the group, just click on files and you'll see the file there. Okay. Now, again, there are 3 parts to your celebration assignment. Oh, and if you thought you were listening to the Fierce Files and you weren't going to do any work, let me tell you that real transformation happens when you do the work, as Iyanla Vanzant would say, right? So do you want real transformation, or do you just want to listen and you don't want to have anything shift in your life? Yeah, I don't think so, or else you wouldn't be here, right? So let's do the work. You ready? All right. So part 1 of the assignment is to celebrate you, of course. So you're going to see on the worksheet that part 1 is what I'm calling your I did that list, right? Because I want you to take some time and I want you to write out all you have already done, right? Like be able to say, I did that, right? No accomplishment is too small. You may have to sit with this for a minute to really write out all that you have done and really focus on this. Because again, if you are like me, we're so focused on what's next, we forget to celebrate what we've already done. Oh, and by the way, if you run out of space on the worksheet I gave you, feel free to write on the back. All right. Now, part 2 of this assignment is to celebrate someone you love. I know I don't often stop and acknowledge the valuable role my friends and family play in my life. And when I realized this, I started putting this, what I'm going to give you, into a practice, right? And when I did this, by the way, I was surprised of the love and gratitude that as I gave it out, how it came back to me. Now, I'm not saying you give it out looking for it to come back to you, but I was amazed. My purpose in doing it was just because I wanted to celebrate and acknowledge people in my life, because I'm busy and I don't often get to talk to people as much as I want to. But I wanted to acknowledge the fundamental role they play in my life. And so as I did this, it astounded me. Now, let me give you a little insight to help you complete this part of your exercise. And oh, by the way, yes, this is on your worksheet as well. Not what I'm getting ready to say, but this part 2 is. So there's a book called The 5 Love Languages. And one of the love languages is words of affirmation. Now, actions don't always speak louder than words. So today is a day to give an unsolicited compliment. Now, hearing the words I love you are important, but hearing the reasons behind that love means so much more. So I want you to reach out to at least one person you love by email, text, or if you really feel bold, call them and share with them a little words of affirmation. I want you to tell them why and how they have great meaning in your life. Again, you will see space on your worksheet so you can write this out before you email, text, or call your loved one. All right. Then part 3 of our celebration assignment is to pay it forward. So I want you to donate or volunteer for a local charity whose work you appreciate, or you can pay for the person's Starbucks in the car behind you, right? I want you to choose one day in the next month, yes, between now and Christmas, and allow it to be your pay it forward day, and see how many random acts of kindness you can get in that day to celebrate those around you. And as you do this work, let me encourage you to not stop here. I want you to begin to take time on a weekly or monthly basis to find reasons to celebrate. You may even start a celebration journal. Maybe you pick Friday as your celebration day and you stop and look at what you want to celebrate yourself for every single week. No matter how big or how small the accomplishment, you did it. So take time to celebrate it. Celebrate you and all those around you who are creating meaning in your life. So it's time for you to, and I want you to repeat after me. Today I celebrate me. I didn't hear you. Let's do it one more time. Repeat after me. Today I celebrate me. And as you celebrate your own unique contribution to this world, I want you to begin to smell the roses all along the way. This is Nicole Roberts-Jones, and thank you for joining me for this special episode as we celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow. Let me stop today and acknowledge you. See, I don't take lightly that you are a listener to our podcast, or I should say to my podcast, and that you allow me to pour into your life. See, with each episode, my prayer is that it empowers you, enlightens you, and boosts you up with the tools and insight you need to move into your next level. Now, today, I want you to know that I see you. And I celebrate the gift that you are in the world. And I thank you for joining with us as a village of women committed to leave a legacy and creating greater meaning in this world. So tomorrow, as I sit at my dinner table with my friends and family and eat all of my great meal, I'm cooking. Tomorrow, I will say a prayer of gratitude for each and every one of you. I'm jumping back in at the end of this episode as this is our season finale, and we'll be back with new episodes on Wednesday, January 9th. In the meantime, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what were your biggest takeaways of the season? Who were your top 2 favorite guests? And who would you like for me to interview for season 2? Share your insight and takeaways in our Facebook group. Now, if you haven't joined us, allow this to be my personal invitation to you to join the conversation beyond the show at findyourfiercemovement.com. And if you've missed any of our podcasts, take some time during our hiatus to catch up or listen to some of your favorites again, and then mark your calendars to join us for season 2 on Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Fierce Files. Now, I want you to walk away from these episodes with value, so grab your pen and answer either one or all 3 of these questions. Number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what would you do differently as a result of what you heard? So you may have heard something you've already heard before, or you may have learned something new. Either way, don't take the insight that was shared with you for granted. So commit to doing one thing different because of what you heard. Number 3, what was confirmation for you? What did you hear that confirmed you're on the right path? See, I want you to take a moment and celebrate you. Too often in our journey, we focus on what we're not doing and we forget to celebrate what we are doing. So what was something that showed you that you're headed in the right direction? Now, I want you to share your answers. Share your answer to either number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what would you do different? Or number 3, what was confirmation for you? And share it in our Facebook community. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com and use the hashtag FierceFiles. Now, each experience we encourage, support, and celebrate as a community. It allows us to expand in possibility and wisdom, in encouragement and love. Now, we've invited you into our community to deepen our journey with being the answer someone needs and in being committed to your next level. So until the next time, be extraordinary, be unapologetic, be bodaciously you, go and be fierce.